Another common tool in solid modeling is Revolve. This tool requires you to provide a sketch and an axis of revolution. I want to demonstrate the Revolve tool. We will use Inventor to create a simple step shaft. Pick New from the Inventor ribbon, then pick the standard IPT from the English folder. I have the YZ plane selected and pick the Create Sketch tool to begin my sketch, starting a center line from the origin point. The center line type is a toggle switch, meaning it stays on until you turn it off. Now I turn it off to sketch regular lines. I sketch the stair-step shape. Notice the shape of the profile I made and try to understand the shape that it makes when we revolve it. Pick the Revolve tool. Inventor knows the center line is the axis of revolution and gives you a preview. The default extent is full, which means the sketch is revolved around the axis 360 degrees. You have full control to change the angle of revolution to suit your needs. In this case, I will use the full extent, and the simple shaft is created. What if we wanted a hole through the center of our shaft? We could certainly edit our first part to add the hole, but here I'll start all over. Start a new part using the standard IPT from the English folder. Start a sketch on the YZ plane and pick the Create Sketch tool to begin sketching a center line on the origin point. I sketched the stair-step shape. This time my sketch forms a closed profile but doesn't extend to the center line. Pick the Revolve tool, and Inventor knows the center line is the axis of revolution and gives you a preview. Because of the gap between the sketch line and the center line, a hole is created through the center of the part. Here's another part with some grooves and shoulders and varying holes throughout it. Revolve is the perfect tool. Start a new part using the standard IPT from the English folder. Again, start a new sketch on the YZ plane and create a center line from the origin. Next, using a regular line, I'll sketch the outer edges of the part, adding the groove and stair-step shapes. Now I can sketch the edges of the odd-shaped hole through the part. It's important to understand that you are only drawing half the part, and that half is essentially spun around the axis. Here you have it, complete with the crazy shaped hole through it. Revolve is the perfect tool for making shaft type parts. Here we have a shaft with a threaded end, a shoulder, and a spherical handle. Let's quickly make this part. Start a new part using the standard IPT from the English folder. Sketch on the YZ plane and start with your center line on the origin. Next, using a regular line, I sketch the outer edges of the part, adding the steps for the threaded end and the shoulder. The sphere on the end requires a tangent arc with its center point right on the axis of revolution. I use the coincident constraint to make that happen. Finally, finish the sketch and revolve the profile. Within a few minutes, we were able to create 4 unique Revolve parts. The important thing to remember is to only sketch half the profile and to include the center line for an axis of revolution. The center line will give you better options when you start dimensioning your sketches. If you have any questions or comments, please send me an email or give me a call. Thanks.